any agenda item at any time, regardless of order listed. Action may be taken on any item on the agenda. Roll call.
President. Here. Stickney.
Here.
Mraz. Here. Brunberg is here, and Montez is absent. We have Ross, Bonesh, Bain, and Woodford staff.
Correct.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
I moves.
And I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any noes?
Yeah,
Okay,
she-
yeah,
yes,
she-
it
okay.
says- I didn't quite
I
get
know.
it. All right,
Take a
good,
walk.
4-0, with one absent. Any person may address the board upon any subject within the jurisdiction of the Orangevale Recreation and Park District, with each speaker being limited to 3 minutes. However, the chairperson can impose reasonable limitations to the maximum time per person and per agenda item to allow the board to complete its business. Any matter requires action, refer to staff or committee for a report and action at a subsequent meeting. All right, we're going to go ahead, the minutes of April 14th.
I move we approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 14th.
I'll second.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Did he
Yeah, he
second?
second.
Yeah, he second.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
we
did
have a
read.
motion and a second.
All those in favor?
There's just 3 of us.
Oh, that's right, she
Yeah.
can't vote on it because she wasn't there.
Right.
Stickney,
Yes.
Mraz,
Aye.
and Brunberg is aye.
And Montez is absent, and then abstention.
And it's one abstention, yes.
All right. So we got the minutes. All right. Correspondence. Oh, actually, did anybody want to speak?
Nobody here, and we're not on Zoom anymore, so.
All right, we're not, all right. Oh, good point. We can go further. All right, correspondence.
Yeah, we have 5 items. The first one was just a nice email that was sent regarding Creek Week, and somebody that was happy to be a part of it, along with his son and grandchildren. And the second item is advertisement in the Orangevale View regarding our programs and special events coming up. The third was another advertisement in the Orangevale View about job openings and our,
How we filling them okay?
Nadia said that the summer camp staff is going well.
Oh, good.
She's pretty pleased there. Regarding our mandated vaccination, there's a couple of staff members that may be asking for exemptions for that, so we'll see how that goes.
Do you bring it to the board, or
New
do you
staff.
guys take care of it?
Yes, that's up to
Okay.
primarily Jennifer and I.
All right.
And then as far as aquatic staff, we're not as strong as we need to be for all of our lessons and all of our,
I think I
Lessons is
can
pretty
cover
good.
swim lessons pretty much, I'm pretty sure, because that's a lot of the returning staff wants to do. Lifeguarding, not so much.
so public swim might be suffering a bit,
A lot.
the number of hours that we can offer.
Is it just this year, or do you think it's?
Well, I mean, I had a good lifeguard training class. I had at least 10 kids in there, but again, part of the requirement is you have to get lifeguard certified, and now you have to be vaccinated, and that just out a big chunk of kids. We're doing interviews now for a few, so we'll see how it goes, but
All right.
But we had the advertisement for staff, we also had the advertisement for the board vacancy, and Director, President Sal, did you learn about it in the ad in the Orangevale View? Fantastic. By the way, welcome to the board.
Right.
It's great to have
And
you here.
on behalf of the old timers, if you have any questions, feel free to ask any of us.
Yeah.
And we can- yeah, well,
Yeah, you
yeah.
might want to refrain from certain,
all right. Still has a sense of humor, though.
And Director President, she and I have a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, so we're going to take a park tour and review some other items, budget, some policy, and any questions that she has after today, too, that she.
Yeah, so, like I say, we're all, well, me and Nan are available most anytime.
Yeah, and if you need a call, we're board members, we're available by phone, so it's not, you're not imposing. I get calls 24 hours, so whatever. It's fine.
I used to call Mike on a regular basis.
A little bit less now, but that's, anytime, Sharon, anytime you want to call, helps you vent, that's good.
Yes,
As long as it's not the Brown Act.
That's right.
Right,
it's just,
It's just regular
Mike.
questions.
all right, so we're on to D, correct?
And the last item was, I'm sorry, second to last item, an article in the Orangevale View about our district. It was
Right,
historical.
I looked at it, the only thing is, I think the board voted to become independent, and then it might have had to go to the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah.
I was there when they voted to become independent,
All right.
and it was 1983, and I can't quite.
and wasn't Joyce one of the first, was she one of the first employees? I mean, she used to be at
Chuck
Jennifer's job.
was one of them, Chuck, and then several other people, and Doug, and
And Doug.
Joyce were.
Joyce were one of the,
Yeah.
Original staff, huh? So when the district was first formed, it was dependent, and then the board voted,
to go independent.
Right,
Be
and
an
then I think it goes to go to the board. It's a minor,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I
And then
thought
we had to
I'd
raise
say
funds.
something now so that, I don't know if you
There's some
let
good
them know
history
or
there.
whatever. It's pretty much the truth.
It just might be out of order a little bit.
Right.
Well, yeah,
And then the final letter was a letter sent to primarily Christina Kelly, our admin clerk, and Danny Rodriguez, our maintenance custodian here at the building.
was this the one that was up here or was it down there?
This was here in this building.
This building? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're on to 8.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I put in front of you the Orangevale View that comes out tomorrow.
I got it today.
You got it today, came in
Yeah.
today? And
Yeah, I got mine today too. Yeah,
That's a nice picture.
yeah.
There's another
The
picture
president?
inside, too.
Oh, is it?
And
All
inside
of
an
us.
article, yes. Page 14.
Well, actually, there's all of us, and then there's the other one with Erica, so
Right.
we're big-time news. Good news, good positive news. So that's it for correspondence, no attorney's billing?
No.
Okay, so let's consent calendar.
I move we approve the consent calendar, item 8, which includes all the sub numbers there.
Yeah, up until 8.9, okay.
Until 9.
All right, so you made a motion, I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mraz.
Yes.
Brenberg is a yes. Lisa's absent. Presnell? Stickney.
Yes, yes.
Okay. 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Okay, then we're on to, if you go through this stuff and have any questions, always,
Go to Barry.
go to Barry and then he'll, before the meeting.
Sometimes I go to
before
Jennifer because I know she's the one that's doing the reporting of it, but
Yeah,
I got to start with him.
And then I always tell Barry too.
yeah. So, that way, we don't take up too much of our time. Okay, 9 non-consent items.
I move we approve the ratification of claims for April 2022, page 27.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. So let's just vote, there's no.
No, and in case you didn't notice, the order of ayes, it changes for each new motion so that you're not always the one at the end approving it, yeah. In case you're wondering, wait a minute.
And this is, since Lisa does business with the district, occasionally it's set aside because she can't
She can't vote on it.
She
That's why
can't-
this,
She can't vote on all the consent items, so we have to separate it.
yeah, this is an item that gets separated so that they,
Sometime-
she can approve all those consent items, and then this is one that she would abstain from, but she's
Right.
absent, so.
So
Yeah, that's what 9.0, so
sometimes
if you
it's
go
there
look
and
at
some-
that,
sometimes there's something there and sometimes there isn't. So, all right, so we have motion and second, and we
Yeah.
already approved it or not?
no,
not yet.
President,
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Mraz.
Yes.
And Brunberg's a yes, and one absent.
Okay, now, standing committees, the one that's coming up is
Next
May
Wednesday?
18th, next Wednesday, 18th, 10 o'clock here. And then I was going to request, can we get, even though it's here, I mean, you can pull it out here, the revenue report.
And then where we are with the current status. I guess I'm on that page right now. It's
Yeah.
page 21,
Yeah, whatever.
Most recent numbers?
page 18.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know that it's going to change much from what I'm seeing today. And then,
Yeah, we get the Compass report only once a month, so probably
so,
won't.
yeah, all three of the districts and then the revenue. And then I think
And then that multi-column one that I like.
Jennifer knows it, right?
The one that's portrait or?
Yes,
the
portrait,
lands- the
yeah.
Portrait one?
Yeah. No, it's landscape.
Landscape
The
one?
landscape one that has the multiple columns of budget, actual budget, actual
yeah,
budget.
yeah.
actual.
Oh, yes, yes.
The fund balance and the fund balance, right, that one.
And
The
then,
multi-years of actuals?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the
We were working
multi-years
on
of
that
actual.
today.
and we're only going to discuss the budget, next year's budget. correct?
Yes, and there's one item on next year's budget, potential item, that I also will bring up, and that is if we do go for another assessment, the cost of doing that.
Oh, right,
And-
right.
Yeah, I want to
We have
bring
to
that
budget
proposal
right.
so we can budget for that. I want to discuss that with the committee first, and then we'll
Yeah.
bring it to the full board in June.
And are you getting estimates from SCI on the cost of that, right?
Yes, I've already received them.
Okay.
Okay, and then, Manny, since you're on the maintenance committee,
Yes,
have one in the next month or two?
we should be able to, and Erica, you're on that as well, so,
Aretha.
Arika, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
It'll take a while.
Yeah. So,
And if you can include whatever equipment they want, or,
for the new year?
Right.
For the new fiscal?
yeah, and then maybe,
Any hardware for the computers and,
well, that's not maintenance, I don't think. That's-
no,
Yeah,
that's
we-
office supplies.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah, that's happening.
but-
So if you want, and you can meet here and go across to the maintenance building so she could look at it, or,
Be great to just bring you up to speed as to what projects we're looking to do this coming
Right.
fiscal year.
Right, and,
and then.
and
Are you
Arika,
plan-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Sharon, no, go ahead if you got something. to
I was
add.
gonna, mention to,
Eureka.
Arika, I keep on wanting to say Eureka. Because my daughter went to Humboldt, I keep on. So anyway, I'm pretty much open for time, and your calendar's probably a lot more limited. So if we can make it to conducive to her time schedule, I can fit whatever time schedule you have open. And that way it'll make it easier for us to get the
Connect.
meeting.
Okay.
So if it's not conducive to your calendar, or whatever, you two work out the time, and I'm the chair, it's fine,
All right.
it'll be interesting.
And then, are you planning on having any the meeting on the trails?
No, but you know.
No.
No,
Oh,
I have
she's on the
trails
trails now.
No, but I do want to schedule something because I've got my pile of stuff that I'm working on rekeying in because we don't have a Word version of the old Trail Master Plan. So I guess I could try to, it's easier, it's faster for me, I think,
So-
to just type it. So, yeah, what I want to do is go over some of the updates that I want to make to the plan.
How about between now and August, is that pushing it too much?
No, I can fit that in.
Okay, all right, good enough. And then, the other ones we can talk about another time.
Oh, are you gonna start, on the trails, are you gonna start prefacing maybe the Woodbridge area so we can start discussing it? It's gonna take like 3 to 4 years before we actually,
And there's another proposal on Holden's property. He's got something at the county, and they didn't bring it to the CPAC yet, so. I'll
Okay.
talk- Yeah, we'll
So-
talk later about that, but
okay.
yeah. So yes,
Okay.
scheduled trail meeting, and then,
That's it. Okay, we'll move along. Any other comments on any other
Oh, I
committees?
have the name of the engineer for SMUD on trails.
oh, okay.
I've got his card.
Anything else, Barry? Any of the other? All right, then we'll go administrators report.
Did you want a break for snacks now?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll take, what is it, 10 to 7? We'll stay till 7? That sound fair?
Yep.
Sure.
All right, we'll take a short recess for the snacks. It looks like pie and all sorts of good stuff.
Muffins?
so we're back in session, and we'll go on to item number 11, Administrator and Staff Report.
Yeah, we're going to start right away with some great news from the Recreation Division. So, Jason?
So, our revenues, we actually started off, in April, we had our, open house. And it wasn't as big as what we had, and a lot of people coming through, but we did well in that. We just took, the registrations, we didn't enter them in, so they actually appear on this time, the May, report. But, as we stand now, in May, and this is just preliminary, because we're not done with everything. We could have refunds and other things coming here. May projection was 77,000. We're at 150,000. In May, we've at this point,
Oh, so the
Met
50,
our-
the 55 that's in the, on the,
that was just, it was,
Right.
that was something that was
First
building
week.
as it go, but, we've since surpassed our, yearly projections close to 92,000.
so you think that's going to affect the next month or not?
We don't even need the next month at this
Okay.
point, We're already surpassed
but-
that. But I'm just saying, we've already surpassed, June's, the whole fiscal year at, it's 520,000.
I know,
Is it Top Notch League new?
No. It's
I've
just,
never- I guess
it just
I-
came back here and,
Oh,
getting
'cause it's
everything
been
coming
gone?
back,
Yeah.
everybody's just coming.
I'm like, wow. And it looks like pickleball is popular.
Yeah, it is.
Yay for us building those courts.
Gail's an amazing instructor, Nadia's worked.
do you think it's just a pent up?
Want to get out and do
You could have had a lot more people, and June might go a lot flatter, which, again, that, we're more than happy with that,
Yeah.
with just any money coming out of June. I know in past years, you've seen it kind of that, the hump for, things coming in slide somewhat.
Right, yeah,
June used to be
depending on-
huge, and I've tried to slowly push it over that way, but, still a projection out of, where'd it go? June is at 88,000, and like I said, we're beyond. So it might be a little lower. I would almost assume it's going to be lower with such a high May, but again,
And was this the first year you did
no. It's first time since COVID that we had it, because last year we did it just kind of more virtual.
right?
But this time we're actually had it down at the activity building. We had some of the instructors out there,
Oh, that building.
activity building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had some instructors out there. We had hot dogs and snow cones and,
So maybe next year, if we have the new road, we can have it down there, or?
why I like it here, and this is how I always see it, I'm just telling you, is that because it's literally, you could see it clearly,
Yeah.
and you can turn, once you get down there, you kind of passed it if you didn't see it. So people could come by going, what's that? Come on in, and then they have that opportunity to go, oh.
Okay.
Or those who already know about it, but,
Right.
John Mock Hazley, yes.
yeah, so we can get them right in, and it's visible, right? We used to do it actually back down here in the parking lot, but I decided that we need to be visible. We need to have it out there, so. So we made, on that day, was it 32?
30,000.
30?
A little over, yeah, which
30.
is
Just one day.
pre-COVID,
Oh.
is what we hit in pre-COVID. So the year before COVID is about the amount that we made. So coming back from COVID to still recover the same cost people. And this time again, like he said, the people did not sign up for as many programs as they had. So that meant that we had to have had more people, but still spending the same amount of money.
Well, on that note, you could also say that we have raised things to
True.
reflect,
Absolutely.
but I mean,
Cost.
we're still got some, we may work to get some more in there too.
Now, is San Juan doing anything in the summer, the school district?
They have camps. They have
Actually, they're
camps.
offering free programs.
They're doing something, like last year they gave us the vouchers to come and do our programs.
Right.
Now they're trying to do things on their campuses
All
through
right.
that.
So we're not part of that part.
So, yeah, so,
Well, continue with the good news there.
so.
Yeah, it's good news.
We're doing okay, I guess,
Oh, no, we're,
Other than lifeguards, hiring lifeguards.
That's the hardest thing, having to have the certification and the,
How long does certification take?
I did the class during spring break.
So a week?
That's, thereabouts, and I gave them extra time to practice their skills, but yeah.
so is swimming going on now then?
Tiger Sharks is down there right now, yeah.
No, it's, I mean,
Is the pool open to the
high
public?
school. Are they done with swimming yet? Okay, so you can't go.
We did already, though. I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's a matter of that. That's why I say we had a pretty good-sized class this last spring break. So,
All right, continue with your report, good report.
I mean,
Okay.
that's where we are there for mine, so.
Anything else with recreation?
Oh, just again, yeah, everything.
Yeah, a lot of good programs, and we had on Saturday, we had the Spring Craft Fair in the gym. A lot of vendors, good turnout, some good reports on how things were spaced out, a little more room for the vendors, and they had some vendors outside too on the back patio. So,
Not yet.
yeah, it was a good event.
Okay.
So,
I can say on that, we did say, I bring it up here now, we're here. Swim team's going, and we're about 250 kids.
And I know 3 of them that swim down there.
I know. But I'm just saying, you know, those are good numbers again, you know, consistently trying, you know, people are coming back and doing things.
And there was actually, I was watching Today's Show, and they were talking, they had 2 Olympic swimmers, and they were talking to, and I already knew this, but the highest, still the highest cause of death for kids under 5 is drowning, and they were pushing swim lessons. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I pushed it down here, is not a guarantee, but
I could say this on swim lessons at this point too, just by looking at it. So most of our, the preschool classes going into the first level class, so the bulk of the real learning stuff, they're full for first session. So as we get to the older kids or the higher levels, they don't always fill up because, you know, they want that basic level, but the younger kids' classes are pretty much full for the first session. I just was watching the first session, so, you know, that's a plus too, so.
All your private lessons are full?
All the privates
except
are
for like
full,
2
yeah.
at session 4
Nope.
timeframe?
Oh, no, I've only been looking at session 1 though right now because that's the one that we got to get moving on, so.
The open house was majority swim lessons, just so you would know as well. The majority, we had multiple lines for miscellaneous, camp, and swim. Everybody was in the swim line, so they took advantage of that first day to be able to sign up no matter your
saying
residency.
it was a good thing we built the pool?
I haven't complained about that.
No. That's good, that's good.
yes,
You
great
did
community.
okay, Manny. I think, it was built before you got on, but sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't part of the initial, assessment district.
Okay.
I came later with the trails, when I wanted to see the horse trail.
We're still working
Like,
on
I
it.
know, we're still working on that.
Maybe by the,
By the time I
well,
retire.
actually, you want to talk about that, or is that later on?
What's that?
Roadway. No, we'll talk about that.
The roadway, yeah, that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on with your report.
Okay, yeah, so Horacio's not here, but as far as the parks go, it's spring growing season.
Busy,
Yeah, grass is growing. We've lost a couple limbs, nothing big, nothing too big. And we did get some rain over the past month.
And it's still sort of cool, I mean, relatively,
Yes,
relatively
Saturday.
cool.
yeah, that helped us with water.
90's not bad.
Depends on the day.
When it gets 95, then
Sacramento
it
weather.
starts getting, I feel like it's getting warm.
Yeah. But things are going pretty well. Still having some graffiti and vandalism issues. And I did meet with Mary Ann Povey to talk about potentially doing some sort of broadcast about the problems and trying to beef up, residents being alert and reporting incidents. There's also, I spoke with Kim Bain of the Chamber of Commerce, and the first Wednesday of every month, they host representatives from Sac County Sheriff's Department
Right.
and the District Attorney's Office. And they want to discuss crime and crime patterns and things that they can do to help us out. So I'll be attending those to talk with them.
We haven't had the cop, they used to do every other month, but because of COVID, they stopped doing them because I don't think they did a Zoom. But they used to have them here at the Park District, and the sheriff and people would come, and it was They were always, well, they were not surprised at how full the meetings were because it was Orangevale. They do it in all the districts. But a lot of people from Orangevale would show up and
Nice.
they'd be complaining about this house over here is a problem one, and what are you doing about this? And so, yeah, they haven't had those, so,
We just
Next
returned.
time- Next time you have
We just returned. The sheriff's meeting has just returned.
oh, they did? Okay,
Good. I'll talk to you about that. I know,
okay.
I'd like to attend. But yeah, anyway, there's some progress there as far as hopefully addressing those vandalism and graffiti issues. And then there's the report from the Footlock Camino Police Department.
I did see the guy that used to come here a lot, Mahonk.
Yeah,
He was on the Channel 3 News because he rescued some guy down near where, down there. So there's an old restaurant that got on fire and went in and pulled the guy out.
all right.
Wow.
I'm watching him going, I know that guy.
That's great.
So he was,
When was this, when did you see that on the news? Do you recall what day?
let's say 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Good.
Oh, was that the one that was on Highway 80? And he pulled the, yeah, Highway 80, he pulled the guy out of the car. Yeah, I saw
No,
that.
it wasn't, it was out of a restaurant.
Oh, out of a restaurant. Okay, there was one on Highway 80, pulled him out of the car.
And nice pictures, all these nice young
Yeah,
people.
we got 4 pages of photos starting on page 32, and
And our outdoor fitness.
yeah,
I
outdoor
haven't
fitness
gone- I haven't
courts,
seen it
yes.
yet.
But the second page, page 33, is the open house that Jason and Mel were talking about.
See that swim line? The others are empty.
Yeah, the line on the right, that's the second page, second picture from the bottom.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sorry, from, on the left.
Everybody else feels the swim lessons are very important.
That's the line, and you see the long line is on the right. Yeah, the fitness court opened up, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Okay. And then there's the picture, pull that one, set it aside if you want.
They did it on
I-
purpose.
I didn't do a paper copy, I just do it online.
Here, we can get you one, Sharon, put it in your,
Put
All
it,
right.
put it in my,
so anything else from the report? Any questions from the board? All right, so let's roll along. Now we got the big business.
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
was there, well, before the big business, was there 12
Unfinished.
unfinished, was the vandalism? I mean, I saw in the staff report that there was discussion of the vandalism. Is it just graffiti or,
Graffiti and kicking the sinks, breaking the plumbing. We've had to replace the plumbing several times.
And it continues. I know a couple months ago it was really bad, but.
Yeah, it's continued. I believe it slowed down a little bit over the last month, but.
and is it
the
localized to certain parks?
Yeah, primarily Oak Filbert restroom building.
Oh, right across from Casso or?
Yeah, and it's likely,
Casa.
yeah, don't want to accuse them, but the timing fits.
I think.
That would be Casa kids, yeah. There was one day where they graffitied the walls, like, we had to go in and repaint
It's
the entire.
it's during the week or is it?
Yeah, primarily.
We'll get our
During
full
the
no
daytime.
Camino out at that time
Right.
of day, multiple days of the week.
I know Horacio's reported it to them and
Yeah.
notified them of the time, and taking pictures of the graffiti so they have records of it. So that it happened again, if they catch somebody, they might be able to trace it
Right,
back
to
to
trace it
other-
back. You did this one too. This has got your handwriting on it. Okay, so darn, that's just sad.
Yeah.
Well, they,
It was.
Horacio, they must take care of it pretty quick because I've hardly ever seen any of it.
Like almost daily they're doing
I
it.
thi-
The guys
only
are
I've
good.
ever seen is that the vandalism inside is, you go to use the restroom and it's locked and there's a sign on it, out of service.
Right.
All right, so we're done with the unfinished business and you're gonna go to the chamber meeting too? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'll be going to the chamber the first Wednesday of the month. I think it's at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right, so then we're on new business. 13A,
I move we approve Resolution 22-05-685, resolution of intention to levy assessment for fiscal year 2022-23, preliminarily approving engineer's report and providing for notice of hearing for the Orangevale Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District.
I'll second that motion. Then we'll go into discussion. So we're going to post it in what, the River City?
Yes, I think it's the American River, it's the one out of Citrus Heights.
Messenger or,
Yeah, one of those, one of the
those.
messenger papers. And the Orangevale View.
okay.
So at least all of our residents are aware, and that it needs to be in a newspaper of certain
Record?
circulation.
Oh, certain circulation amount?
Yeah, and the one in Citrus Heights meets that specification. So it'll be posted in 2 newspapers, and,
You're going to do that tomorrow, or?
yeah, once this is approved, I'll send this resolution to Susan Barnes with SEI, and she'll take care of that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second, and we've had discussion.
Any
You want to,
questions or concerns? Arika?
I guess we should explain what
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
Talk
okay,
more
so,
about-
yeah, so what this is the $42 that is assessed to every resident in Orangevale.
Right.
Property owner.
And it was established, if you read the, that history project newspaper thing, 30 years ago, the board approved this assessment of $42 per house. And you have to every year have this engineer's report that still says you need that $42 and here's why. And it shows the budget that is way beyond the $42 that we get, but we still need the $42 to repair things and
We could,
add things.
we could not, the district could not run without that money at this time. Or, well, we could probably run for a year. Mostly it's for the maintenance of everything we built, this building, the pool, all the parks we put in,
Equipment and stuff
equipment
and
and ongoing.
upgrades. I
And
think we've
it's like,
upgraded
and you'll
stuff.
find out later on, if we're gonna do anything else in the future, we're probably gonna have to do something in addition to or replacing the one we've got, but that's another
That's
time.
another meeting.
So, but we have to,
So, yeah, the engineer's report, they have done it for us every year, and it details all the parks, and if there's any updates during the year, if we've annexed, so they added this over here, the last year, right, when we, you know what,
2019, it was purchased.
2019, okay. So, yeah, they update the square footage that we have, and it basically is justification
to continue.
to continue with that assessment to,
For the same price.
because by law, we can't
Yeah,
increase it.
we have to do it every year. We have to go through the engineer's report, we have to post it in the newspaper and say we're gonna vote on it in 30 days. And then
Allow the
people
public to come.
come in and say it's a good idea, bad idea, or say nothing.
Right. But yeah, by law, that's what
So
we have to do every year.
it's part of the law, and that's what we have to do every year. I think we do for all 3 of them, right?
That'll be in June.
2?
And it's, yeah, we break into a public meeting for discussion about that item.
All right, but let's go on with the,
The intention to continue to be,
Right.
basically.
well,
Right.
we couldn't impose the $42 if we didn't do this.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah, so-
do the resolution every year to say,
Continue
yep,
with it.
we're gonna impose it again next year, and we're gonna impose it next year, and we have to have an engineer's report that we base our decision on in order to vote that we're going to continue the
Right.
assessment.
Okay.
All right, so we've had a motion and a second, and we've had discussion. Any other comments?
No, this is referred to as OLAD. So you'll
Right.
hear us kick around the abbreviation.
Yeah.
Orangevale Lighting and Landscape
Landscaping
District.
Assessment District.
That's what the little
OLAD.
parentheses is.
Can I bring up one thing that, there's a couple corrections that will be made, and that is, one is on page 41, where it has the Board of Directors listed. I'll be sure to add Director President to that. And also on, no, that was primarily it. That's the only change that's for certain.
On this one. All right, so we have a motion and a second.
All right,
We've got a vote.
Stickney,
Yes.
Moraz.
Yes.
Brenberg is a yes, Lisa's absent, President.
Yes.
Okay, and just, anytime we vote, 3 people have to vote for it or it doesn't pass.
Right.
A minimum of 3.
3,
So if we have, if you're ever at a meeting and there's only 3 of us,
Yeah, if we're not,
we all have to, if
we don't, then it doesn't
If we
pass.
don't, then we have to table it and it has to come back the following month, so. And it's, so, you don't have to vote for it.
Right, it can just come
But-
back when we have more directors.
Right.
Yeah, we need quorum.
Okay, 13B, I move we approve Resolution 22-05-686, resolution of intention to levy assessments for fiscal year 2022-23, preliminarily approving the engineer's report and providing for notice of hearing for the Kenneth Grove Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District.
Okay, this, well, we have a motion, I'll second it,
Okay.
and we can have discussion.
Yeah.
These are the people that.
A long time ago, well, whenever this was, I'm not even sure when this came into being.
It was before 96, so it was 94. This is it here.
Keep it brief, Mike.
There's a housing development that's over there, Kenneth Groves, and at that time, it's right there on Greenback and
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Greenback and Kenneth.
If you go on Greenback and if you go on Greenback and look on, just before Kenneth, look on your right, there's a whole bunch of landscape.
Landscaping.
When they built that, the county was all about, if you're gonna put all these houses in, you have to have so much open space. And so they put that in, and then they also had a thing, well, if you're gonna build it, then you have to have a way of maintaining it. So they said, well, we're gonna put an assessment district in, and then they came to the Orangevale Recreation Park District and said, would you like to manage this assessment district? And whether it was good or bad, they accepted it. It was before me and Manny or Sharon were on the board. It wasn't a bad idea. So they assessed themselves, what is it, $150 a year, each house. And
Yeah,
there's-
if you look at the engineer's report, it has the map of the homes that are part of that.
I think there's like.
So my walking is right, pretty much almost where I live.
Right, so, and it kind of covers the cost.
Well, because we had to revamp it, so it's like every 5 or 6 years, it needs a whole major.
So every year we don't spend all the money, so we just put it in, and then like Sharon said, we
It goes through a major
we redo the irrigation, we change the trees or
Trees and the
shrubs or
shrubs.
whatever.
How many homes are affected?
It says here, let's see,
On the
40
map, there's a
something?
map
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Let's see.
I want to say 150, but. it really-
Yeah, it
36,
is 150.
Wow. that's a
single
lot.
family,
That whole patch.
36.
36 homes,
And they're each charged $150.78.
And it's their choice, they do it.
right.
So
And then we turn around and we charge them
Do they know that now?
administrative, you
Yeah.
you can look at the budget
Yeah.
and then it just,
Page 105 is
Got it.
probably a good snapshot.
Yeah.
doesn't take a lot of our time, but it does
I
take
just wanted
some
to make sure
time.
that if I had to abstain or something,
Yeah.
because I'm like here.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion, a second, we've had discussion, to already explain it.
Raz,
yes.
Brenberg is a yes. Montez is absent. President.
Yes.
Stickney.
Yes. Okay, then we're on to 13C, approval of agreement with MTW Landscaping to design the construction of the road from this area down to the new property, which Barry will probably show you some of that.
We looked at it a couple days ago.
All right, okay.
You want me to
It's-
get the
it's-
motion out of the way?
A lot of potential down there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so Barry, you want to talk on this?
Yeah, the background is that we qualify for a grant through the state, Prop 68 per capita grant, and we're going to receive $198,000 from the state for the grant, and we have to match $49,000. And the board decided on projects to spend that money on that were in our master plan. And the one that we decided on was the roadway that connects the properties that we talked about. And,
Whatever project we were going to have to do, we were going to have to complete it within 36 months, 18 months?
yeah, it needs to be complete by December 2024.
Okay. And this one.
I'm sorry, December 2023.
And this one should be done before December 1st.
Probably not done by December 1st. Ground,
He wants it to be done before then.
the ground, and I'll get into that soon, but it's groundbreaking by the end of the year is reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I'll be nice goal to have it done by tree lighting, but
Yeah, it would be. Probably won't, but we'll see.
whatever. It's nice goal. You got to have goals.
But MTW they've been working with us since the master plan started several years ago, and they know the project so well, it's logical to stick with them
Okay.
through this process.
And then.
And there's no obligation to get beds from, a certain amount of beds before we,
For this, since they're already involved in it, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one
Yeah,
that
they've
we've had ongoing
We've had like-
agreements
Yeah,
with them.
we have a relationship with them with all the master plans that we've done.
It's kind of a
And they're-
continuation.
Yeah,
And I think you've had, Jason and Horacio have had at least 3 or 4 meetings with them. Just
Yep.
walk through and,
Yep, Doug was involved in one of those meetings, yeah. So,
but we'll need to get county permits for it, right?
yes.
And MPW is going to do that, or somebody staff? gonna do
That'll
that?
be mostly me.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be assisting with a lot of the steps in this process they've already done the investigation phase, which was meeting with staff. We walked through with the architect and the engineer. The engineer did a topographical study already and provided us with the drawings. And so the next step is finalizing this agreement so they can move forward. And then soil testing. We had somebody come today to mark out, they stake the areas that they want to test. They're going to be testing on May 24th. And they're going to have to dig maybe about as far as 9 feet to do some good soil testing. And we'll get their report probably, within a couple weeks of May 24th. Then the CEQA study, I'm working with the county on scheduling that date. Depending on how busy they are, it could be a couple months once we schedule it, before they come out. And then the preliminary design phase, we expect to have happen probably once this soil study comes back, they can move forward with the preliminary design phase. And then the construction document phase, the bidding, awarding the bid, and construction, breaking ground.
and we're going to add a couple, they call them add alternates, right? Is that,
Yeah, in addition to the road, we're also talking about trails that are going to help connect Shackleton Woods to this property, to the new property.
and then maybe to the south? This depends how much money the road costs us versus, and then how much money we want to throw into the pile.
And with each phase, MTW should be providing us with updated cost estimates.
Yeah.
So we'll eventually learn how much of that trail we can get done within this grant funding, and how much, if we want to do additional, how much it's going to come out of our budget.
Right.
was there previous soil testing of that area?
So there was a property, where the overflow parking is, that gravel area? I don't know how long ago we purchased that property. There was an old house on that property.
That property we've had for a while.
Well, there was,
It wasn't the one that was right next to us, then there's the Anderson property,
Right.
but we've had that upper one for a while.
That was probably, I don't know, we were on the board, were all three of
Yeah.
us on the board?
Oh, yeah,
There-
I
there-
remember, we tore down
Right
the
next,
house.
where
Yeah,
that
yeah.
concrete wall is, there was a 3/4 of an acre, it was a couple
old
owned
house.
it, and they were actually married, they were married for like 75 years, and they, I think one of them passed away, and the other one had to go to some kind of rest home, and then their children sold us the property. And then the Anderson property, is that what?
That's the next chunk that it kind of surrounds that one and goes all the way
Go to
back.
north of the swimming pool, all that property, it's like kind of like a L-shaped kind of,
A little bit, yeah.
and I think it was 2.5 acres or something around that. And the guy was gonna put in the basketball building, and then he went bankrupt. And we were there able to buy that, and we've kind of been, and then it was all hilly and stuff, and we had somebody come in and,
Well, that had two houses on it.
Yeah, I remember we tore down
Okay.
the houses, they were,
But it was, because it sloped down from that property the first one, it sloped down to that one. It was kind of flat all the way back on that though.
and then so then, we had a big, huge pile of dirt when we built the pool. We could have hauled it away, and we said, no, we'll just leave it here, we'll figure some, so then we ended up spreading it all over that 2.5 acres, or 2 acres of it.
Yeah.
And then, in 2019, there was a Baptist church that was, I'll call it 2 acres, I don't know, maybe it's bigger
It's
than
three, I
that.
think, 3.7 or something, wasn't
Yeah.
Was there for years, and
Yeah.
then they,
4.7,
their
I believe.
congregation
It was
decided to
something.
leave, and the guy retired, and so that we bought it in 2019. And that was a good deal, because it already had a 75 parking lot stalls put in. We didn't have to pay $10,000 each for
but
it.
this was, there was a question on the soil test.
Yes, Enrique was asking if, if there's concerns about the soil, is that right? And when I met today with the soil engineer, he was asking too, he assumed that there might have been a property there. So he expressed an interest in potential utilities underground and soil issues. And I told him that there was a house there and that, so he's aware of that, so he'll be.
There are two water lines that come in there, I think.
it? I think they're at
But I
the,
don't think they go all the way back.
I think they're cut to they
Street,
stopped
yeah.
them at the street because Orangevale Water was out there one day looking for them.
Yeah. And that one house had an earthen floor, and we were worried about it being historical in nature, which threw up a lot of red flags, because it was an earthen floor in a house, and if it's over 50 years old, you're in trouble, it's heritage. And we said, oh, no. But we had a couple,
It's just how they built it.
just how they built it back then with an earthen floor, and then that was demolished, and we found aluminum or whatever underneath it. It was big enough to be an airframe, but almost an airplane, we thought. And we were worried about it. Maybe somebody had dumped it, made a dump. So we were concerned about that, and then that had a lot of what ifs to it. It wasn't that bad. So we did.
We're just thinking about the cost, if we know there's issues already, if there's gonna be a cost issue for us to have them, if we know there's issues and they haven't been remedied, and then they go and do the soil testing.
Well,
and
they're gonna do the soil, well, that'll all come back, I mean,
I don't think we have issues.
It should be
It's
clean.
not, it's not like there was some toxic chemical plant
no.
there, right?
no, it's mostly, it's just dirt we had on the property, and we pushed it over that way, and I'm not even sure we pushed that much, because
It was a pretty big, because that hill kind of came down and it went out back behind the pool. And we did take a big chunk of that and spread it, and that was thinned out that way and pushed out to extend that, and they made that overflow parking lot come back that way.
So it's just,
It's good.
it's dirt, it's just dirt
The
that
dirt
we
that we
shaved
have,
off.
yeah.
Now,
It's-
whether it's compacted enough, they'll tell us that. That would be, my only concern was it's not compacted enough.
I would have put a road on, yeah, they might
Yeah.
have.
Whatever,
to do
they'll
a road
let
base.
us
We'll
know.
find out.
And
It should be
then-
clean.
And then if it's not, then we'll have to change how the road goes.
I move we approve the agreement with MTW Group for the landscape architectural services to include the surveying, design, documenting, bid negotiation, and construction administration of the road and pedestrian walkway project at Orangevale Community Center Park in the amount of $23,130.
I'll second.
And my question is, if that 23,000, that's part of the 49,000 or 48,000 we have to pay?
Is that part of
Oh,
our mandatory
Yes,
minimum match?
it's part of the entire roughly 250,000.
But we have to pay 49,000 or whatever. it is.
Right. Yeah, and we can
So-
take
And we'll
it,
get credit for that? for the
yes.
Okay.
That'll go towards all the costs,
All
of
right.
which we'll be
So-
paying roughly 50,000.
I just want, I
Yeah,
thought that was the
we'll
case, but
itemize it.
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, we did, I believe, 20% of the entire cost of the project was going towards permits, engineering, that
Okay.
type of thing. So
So,
This is
once we pay
23's.
the 23,000, we're
we're in good shape.
about halfway,
Yeah, halfway
halfway
there.
done with our share.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. We've had a lot of discussion on it. Let's go ahead and vote.
Brunberg is yes. Montez is absent. President,
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Mraz.
All right, so it's 4-0 with one absent.
Absent, yeah.
All right, so now we're on to D.
And I already gave you the update on the roadway project, so that's been done.
Okay, so then we're done with that. E, update on the swimming pool repair, and I like the form, and I think, see, we got the first little box done.
Yes. And we're moving along. So, been in touch with the county. We finalized agreements, and they're setting up our account. So we'll be able to draw money from that account to pay as things start getting done. And don't know exactly when that account's going to be flush and ready for us to start tapping into it, but they're working on that. I'll be learning soon. And then, all things, if everything goes well or relatively well, we're looking at construction beginning November, December. They expect typically 2 months to get this job done. They say, assume 2 to 4 months in case there's certain delays with contractors and
Weather.
weather.
And weather could be,
Yes.
The labor.
They find something that they weren't expecting to find that
Okay.
is a problem.
and I think we're budgeting $600,000 to repair it. We're hoping that it'll be 400,000, am I correct in saying
Well,
that?
we were thinking more like 450, but now with inflation the way it is, I don't know, it's hard to say.
But we budgeted 600, and I guess we are going to talk about that a little bit on Wednesday or not?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
definitely be
yeah.
talking
No,
about
we do need to talk about.
which accounts the funds are
where-
gonna come
yeah,
from.
Where the money is coming from.
Where's,
But
where's
we've,
our buckets?
every year, we've been stashing away roughly $50,000, I think, in anticipation of a major, roof repair, or we were more concerned about the pool, because it's what, 25 years old, or 20,
Yeah, right, it was 90,
98 maybe.
something like that.
About 24
24.
years old.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah, I think it's 25, it was
hasn't
23
been-
when she came out last year.
Hasn't
Do the
been
math.
touched too much,
90.
and so it's time for replastering, and I think we had to go through a repair job, cut down on leakage, which I guess is still holding up,
Yeah.
so, and then we got money set aside for a new motor, and we just had the old one revamped, holding out, hope it'll last through September.
And actually, it's supposed to last, the pump,
Yeah,
aren't they looking to replace it as soon as it comes in?
Yes,
So, I mean, that's.
but it's holding up right now.
Right, yeah, but I mean,
and then didn't we order a new one?
yeah, we got the new
It's
pump and
due
motor.
in first week in June.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
right.
we're- But
yeah,
we're
we
gonna
were just
set
hoping
it
that we
aside
last until
until
June.
we need it, until after the construction?
No, I think we'll put it in now because it'll save us on energy costs considerably.
Okay.
That's the one, that's the major driving force behind that new pump and everything, is because it's variable speed, so we can power it down at night, not having it running constantly all 24 hours a day. And in the off-season, we can just back it down to half speed pretty much the whole day, so.
And it looks like it's still going to be here in June, or?
What's that?
It's scheduled to be here first week in June.
Still?
Still.
All right,
Haven't
good.
heard anything different yet.
Cross fingers.
Just want to make sure it's on some Shanghai, on some boat.
Some
you
ship
know.
sitting
shut
off the
down.
coast of LA, you can't get to the port.
All right, so anything else on the pool side? I like the form, and I guess you'll bring it back every month or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
As you
Keep you
add completions and, so, and it's supposed to be shut down September 1st, Jason?
Yeah, pretty much.
We got, with not even going out to bid, we'll be done completely with whatever we would have done in there.
Right.
Even if we ran, say, the swim team wanted to go through September like we normally would, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be too much of a problem if they're not
Right.
even bidding out till, what is it?
We'll leave it up to you guys to decide.
Yeah. Because, if they're not doing anything right then, keep the money flowing.
Right. All right. So we're done on E, so we're on to F.
Yeah, F is board elections information. I want to just bring you up to speed on where we are now. And for the three of you who will be up for reelection, some important dates to know. The resolution was done a couple months ago, so that's
And
complete.
we made a change when Erica
Well, but I'm reading this. We made to, a resolution, motion to be at the same time with them, right? To be, that our election would coincide with theirs.
Correct.
It was kind of general overall.
Correct.
But I'm seeing in here that the board has to state how many words maximum they can put in their candidate statement and whether or not we would pay for candidate statement costs.
Yes.
So that's new.
The number of words was part of another form that I submitted, and I went with the 200.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what we've done traditionally. And then what I've researched, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've researched is that the applicant going for reelection pays for their
Right, pays for
own.
their own, yeah.
But you have to come here. No, they have to come here and pay the $200 or whatever the,
No, they don't. You pay it when you go down there.
Pay when you
You
register.
pay it at the
Oh, okay.
registrar's office. No, but so, yeah, because our resolution last month didn't have those in there. Did we just do it like we've always done it, the 200 and we don't pay? I mean, I just wasn't sure if we should have pointed that out in our motion.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was done, it was submitted, though,
Okay,
so that is squared away.
well,
Okay.
I'm confused then. Applicants still have to pay to put the 200 words in, am I wrong?
They do.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
There's a
they have to
different
pay.
fee for 200 or 400, but we just, as a board, have always said, we'll limit it at 200.
Always
Okay.
200, okay. All right.
That's if you want to submit
Right,
a
no,
statement.
that's fine. So,
So have you done, so that you've done all the stuff required here, the certification of maps and boundaries?
Yes,
So that's all been done?
yep. The candidate statement cost historically has been done by the candidate.
Right, so we didn't
The-
change it, okay.
and they don't know what the cost is yet until it gets closer.
Yeah, I think I think there's a website you can go to find it, or they're going to announce it later. I can find out for you.
Last time it was like $500.
Was it that much? Wow.
So we have to go
In the-
to the registrar's office starting in July 18th?
Yes, so on the third page of that, the second to last paragraph states when you,
And you have to go down there.
I know.
And I'm going to tell you, you better figure on a minimum of an hour.
okay?
Maybe long, maybe 2 hours.
Oh, I got in and out of there fairly quickly.
If you go-
It
Oh, you
depends
can
on
do
the time of
appointments.
day.
You can do appointments,
Yeah,
can't you?
if you go early,
Yeah.
in the middle of the week,
Not so bad, huh? Okay. But everything else has been done, so now it's up to the three of you to,
Decide if you want to
yeah,
run.
and we can remind you when July comes around to hop to.
All right?
my calendar.
Now, if there's nobody running against us, we don't have to pay the fees and aren't on a ballot, right?
That's not, I believe so, that's.
Because that's what happened last time.
Only if
We
there's-
We saved
got
ourselves
money back in the
$16,000 if nobody runs against us.
Tom, me and Lisa ran too.
Right, that's the last time. I said with you and Lisa. I felt,
Erica-
no, he's
Erica-
always run when I've been
No,
there,
there's me, Lisa, and Erica ran, and then I think when you and Manny ran the time before, there was nobody.
I thought there was.
No,
And the only reason,
withdrew.
Okay, so yeah, so we've done, yeah, we've saved ourselves some money.
yes, and the only reason Director
get rid of
President
a lot
will
of money.
run is because it's a short term.
Right.
And the timing when Erica resigned makes it so, if
Right,
it was
but she's
after
only gonna-
July, then you would just finish out the rest of her 2-year term.
And actually,
Right.
she had to do the same thing,
So you're gonna have
Erica.
to do it again in
Right.
2 years.
That's right.
Good practice. It's not that, you know, I just went down there and it just takes a little while because they keep, oh, you're gonna fill this form out and you gotta,
Get my
They
letter
give you a
writing.
packet and you fill it all out.
oh, well, yeah, well, and then they have to look at it. It's not, it's not a big deal. It's not a big
Look
deal.
at it.
Hey, it's a horse for a boat.
That's not the hardest part is then actually getting arrested. So, I mean, going down, getting the forms is fine.
Actually,
I'm good with
finding
that.
the results of the Orangevale Park District on the Secretary of State's website is very hard to find, to see where your votes
Well,
are.
and then
It's,
I have to laugh about the last presidential election. They were all freaked out, but it's like, the votes start coming and then around 2 o'clock in the morning, it slows down. And then I mean, that's why they get, it's not, what, 22 days after the election that they certified?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think
yeah. And California is
the
very
person who
slow.
had the position before Erica, we didn't, and even Manny, they didn't find out till like a week or two after the election whether they were gonna win. I mean, it was, you know, in a park board election, I mean, it's like 4,000 people.
and actually vote,
Well,
yeah.
you know, that's when I went down and went and talked, when I first ran and I got on, after I won, he goes, oh, there's an overcount. Yeah, there was 25,000 people could have voted for this position, but only 4,000 voted for it, so it's like, you know, so it makes you feel, well, maybe it isn't a big deal. But, like I said, with Manny and, the person that had the position before Erica, it was a week before we actually knew who was gonna win. All right, so you talked about that, and if you three have any questions, go right to Barry.
Please.
Please.
I've made friends with the folks at the county, this department. They're very helpful.
Yeah.
So any
Good,
questions?
good. We like to hear that.
Policy procedure manual. You're gonna
Yeah,
give us a
13.
verb, now, we have a
Oh, do you have a committee?
committee, but there's no need for a meeting yet.
No, not yet. We submitted the manual to the attorney to review, our free attorney,
Yes.
and about 3 weeks ago or so, roughly. Before you were on vacation, right?
Yes, oh, yeah, it probably has been 3 weeks.
All right,
Will
so,
track changes so
That's a
they
long
see what
time.
we've done?
Excuse me?
Did you use track changes so they see what's changes have been made?
Well, when we submit it, she's going to return it to us with track changes, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
So we're waiting on that from her. We communicated with her last week, or earlier this week, I forget which, and she, it's not ready yet. She's busy. So we should have that,
when it gets done,
Yep.
then you can
Then
have
you have
a,
the meeting,
you
yeah.
can have a committee meeting.
have a committee meeting, then bring it to the full board.
Nothing else that we need to have. All right.
No, nothing
Big
real
day of
urgent.
service, 13H.
Big day of service, May 21st. It's going to be here at this park. And,
If you drive around, you can see some of the piles of
yeah, some of the tan
what they're
bark.
gonna spread around, and I think we're gonna plant 7 or 8 trees.
We're gonna plant up to 12 trees.
All right, okay.
Yeah, and Horacio had asked Nelson, and Doug and I met today. We marked out some spots where we think the trees will go, and then Nelson tomorrow is scheduled to check out the irrigation lines to make sure, and any other utility lines, to make sure these places are safe to plant a tree. And, so they're gonna dig the holes, I believe, next Tuesday, and then Tuesday or Wednesday, and then Saturday, for Big Day of Service, we have volunteers from Kiwanis Club that are going to be spearheading the tree planting. And Nelson Kirk is going to demonstrate the first tree, how it's supposed to be done, and then he's going to supervise from there, help others get the trees in properly.
What we do is we go and we have like an auger and we go down and,
Yes, we rented an auger bit today, or Doug did, a day or two ago, he's going to. But, yeah, and he recommends if we're going to be planting a lot of trees, we may want to purchase one. Yeah, because, and we do plan on planting quite a few trees
But
here.
you have to have it's dug, but then it has to have a mound that the tree sits on.
True, yeah,
So-
needs that.
you know,
Protect
Nelson's pretty,
Yeah, he is, he's,
slight disagreement on how many stakes to put in, but that's either there or
but
there.
I don't know how many trees he's planted in his life, but he's tracked all the trees in the other park agencies that he's worked for. It's impressive. He's got a whole spreadsheet of all the trees. He goes on the maps and looks to see how they're doing. Yeah, he's
Yeah, we're
serious.
lucky to have him. All right, so all the work's gonna be here, right?
So all the work's going to be, well, all the Orangevale work is going to be here. There's also some projects going on in Fair Oaks. But for here, it's tan barking, replacing or adding new tan bark to all the tan bark areas, black tan bark around the building and near the pool. And in the parking lots and on the outskirts is going to be the natural tan bark, which shout out to Easy Stumps. They've been coming here and dropping good quality tan bark
Okay.
for the perimeters. And then we're also going to be painting the youth center building. And shout out to Rotary. Rotary's organized the volunteers for that project. Going to be painting the storage containers that we have in the parking lots, spruce those up. And ball fields. We have infield mix, and they're going to be improving the infields of these two ball fields. And across the street, if time allows, they're going to paint the backstops and the benches and spruce it up. Put in a new home plate. Yeah.
All right, anything, so, and that's not this Saturday, but the following
Saturday, the 21st, we've got a few staff members, I think 4 or 5 of us that are going to be here. And then the rest, all the volunteers from Big Day of Service.
And that starts at what time?
It starts at 10 o'clock, expect to be finished by 2, and includes a lunch. And if you want to help out, bigdayofservice.org or .com, and you can register for whichever of those projects you want to work on, and they can take more volunteers. Right now, I heard this afternoon, we're up to roughly 90 volunteers
Okay.
signed up. The goal is 250, but anything over 100, they feel will be enough volunteers, but the more the merrier.
All right,
You said bigdayofservice.com?
I believe it's .com or .org, yeah.
okay. On the 13, outdoor fitness again, let's talk about that.
Yes,
Pictures of it.
yeah, the pictures are there. We completed that a couple of weeks ago. We had, I believe, 12 volunteers helping with the install, along with a couple staff members. And it was Rotary that provided the volunteers for that.
Are there signs or maps or how to use the equipment, or,
Each piece of equipment has its own sign.
okay,
But we haven't yet put a sign at the front of the equipment. We want to, this equipment brought to you by
right.
California Parks and Recreation, Rotary, or OVparks. Those 3 agencies particularly that donated money, time, labor.
No vandalism?
Not yet, though. There was reports of high schoolers probably not using it the way it's supposed to be used before school. But yeah, it's rugged equipment.
Now, when I go to
Yeah, it
Phoenix,
looks rugged.
when I go to Phoenix Field, they've got these large signs with maps of how, the distance. Can we work on getting, I used to push Greg all the time about I know we got it at Almond Park.
Marker signs, so you know how far you've walked?
Well, they have a large sign, they have, I don't know, it's like
Oh.
6 feet, it shows,
Yeah, okay.
here, if you do this, if you want sometime, I can go and we can take a look at it.
I know what you're talking about.
and it says, okay, here, if you want the loop around the
Is it the Shackleton?
soccer field is like half mile or whatever it is, you know, and if you want to do loop B, which is walk out towards the disc golf and go around, it's that far, you know, and if you know, it's pretty helpful, and, I mean, I know a lot of people, if you ever go there in the mornings, there's a lot of people walking there. So if you get a chance, take a look at Phoenix Field and use that as a,
We have one down here at Shackleton.
yeah, no, I think I've seen that one, yeah, that's, and hopefully that we can have one that shows all this stuff that we're gonna
Right.
put in.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But yeah, it would be good to have it, all of our parks that have.
Well, yeah,
walking
one at the
trails.
entrance at Filbert, maybe one at Oak, and
Mm-hmm.
then one at Hazel, where you could start there.
Yep.
Kind of where
Anyway,
the
so,
main
yeah.
parking lots are.
Well,
The park.
you know, if you get a chance, go over to Phoenix Field, take a look at theirs, I mean, they've got,
Yeah, I've seen some of those at parks, those are nice.
all right, so, and so it's up and running, and
Yes, it is.
did we get anything in the newspaper on that? I didn't,
There was we did a video on Orangevale Live.
Right.
Marianne Povey met with me and two members of Rotary, the president and the gentleman, Steve Blair, who helped. He was pretty much the foreman.
but maybe we could get something that
Yeah,
says, hey,
the picture, have that go to
Say-
the Orangeville View and have her
Yeah.
write a little something on that.
Yeah.
new equipment.
Oh, and then where it came from, yeah, the funding,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The View should have a little story on that.
And Fred's wrapping up his videos.
Oh, yes. Jason just mentioned Fred, what's his last name?
De Leon.
De Leon. Fred De Leon, who, he's one of our contractors that helps with landscaping and improvements and
In Alliance.
In Lions
In
Group.
Alliance, thank you. In Alliance, who does a lot of the beautification around this building. They're here 3 days a week. Fred's a personal trainer, and he went and did some video of how to properly use each of the pieces of equipment.
Oh, cool.
And he's going to be sending them to us so we can put them on our website.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
But I think we, you know, if we can get an article, it just.
Yeah, an article, and then the article with the link to our website, to to where you would find it, right?
And the appreciation,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, the more, and you, was it Tim didn't like to do it, and Greg was we pushed him a little bit to get more stuff, but we need to let the public know that we do a lot of stuff
That's right.
with, and then so that when we come up down the road and say, oh, by the way, can you give us
Some more.
another bunch of money?
It's funny, I was showing Nadia yesterday, she and I were looking at the master plan map for Community Park. And I showed her where the fitness equipment was part of the master plan, and it's exactly where the master plan wanted it to be. So it's nice that we're following the master plan and checking off some of the projects that the community identified.
Yeah, though everything on the master plan, we're probably not gonna do, but at least we've got a guideline.
Yes.
I think we did,
It's a
Greg
wish
did really
list.
well that we've got this guide. Now, when we actually get down to doing it, like the road it showed down there, we're changing
A little bit of the
a
alignment.
little bit of it, you know, because it, you know, that was then and this is now. All right. We're all done with equipment?
We are. All done
So
with new business.
if you guys could look into some kind of Orangevale View notification, or actually use that other newspaper too, since we're gonna give them money. Directors and staff's comments. Melissa, nothing other,
Summer's underway,
I
yeah.
see a lot of people playing pickleball.
Yeah, that one's Nadia's. We do have a used pickleball that'll be coming in as well, and the hopes to carry on the tail end of that one. But yes, we got all of our sports camps coming back, and hopefully we'll have a lot of enrollment
And
continuing.
I see a lot of, that when it was dark earlier, there was a lot of people using it with the light system, which was good too.
It was a very positive addition again.
Well, and they can also play tennis too.
People are very much into pickleball, and they have been using them and letting us know.
Now, isn't that light, repaired and replaced that light, right? That was a new thing too, that light put in, fixed it.
Well, it always used to be there, and then
It stopped working.
yeah, I mean, we didn't care, because we wanted to repair the
The court first. We did the
course for
court,
it, so, and then, it looks very pretty, and it's, a lot of times, it's pretty crowded. All right, anything else, Melissa, Jason?
I don't have too much else here, we'll keep,
Since you got
I
a
say
lot-
we'll keep plugging along, but I mean, since we've already met projections, I guess we're good till July, right?
Just take naps.
You're just setting the bar up a little higher, that's all, but good job.
I figured we could just take the rest of the time off, we'll be back in July.
Wait till you see what we're budgeting for you to do next year.
It's that little carrot.
Yeah, got to keep challenging.
Jennifer, how was Hawaii?
Fabulous.
And you stayed down at the south part of,
Poipu,
yeah,
yeah.
me and Barry were talking about, because he'd just been there, and
Right.
I stayed relatively close to the Blue Hawaii Destroyed Hotel,
Oh,
Nice, that's right.
a little bit north. Well, I guess, yeah, north.
Princeville area?
But I guess they're finally tearing that thing down.
They are. I saw that. When I was there, I drove by and, yeah.
It got wiped out in the torn, and whatever, we'll go on, go on. It's interesting place. But Hawaii was good,
it was great.
and you came back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
I couldn't leave Barry to do the budget alone.
Thank you, thank you.
nice.
Yes.
And I guess that's all, well, we'll talk on Wednesday.
Yeah, yes,
So
we'll
if you
be
get-
ready.
Give us the few things that we need to make it go a little quicker. Barry, and you want to add anything, or?
Just, shout out to the staff. That open house was really successful, and it was fun for the families. They could let their kids enjoy the outside while they went in and registered. And the rec staff has been really cranking, as you can tell by the revenue and the numbers that we have. And, shout out to the admin staff, because they have to process all these registrations and answer the phone calls. And
With
they
our new
were,
computer.
and they were there at the open house, taking those registrations in the long lines. It's been a great team effort, and, the park maintenance staff too, just with spraying and everything and getting the facilities so they're nice and usable and safe for all the programs that we have. It's a really good team we have here, so just want to thank everybody.
All right, Manny, we'll start down with Manny.
Okay, we're gonna shut down the pool in September. About
Maybe even late September, just depends.
Well, I mean, all depending, but how that plays out, a lot of times we had swim into the September, it ended about right before October there, when it started getting a little colder, so we didn't, it's been usually hot in September, so we never had to heat the pool, so we would continue on, just swimming laps and stuff.
Okay, well, maybe just before we close the pool, we have a dog splash.
He's still trying to get.
You really
that
want to
one.
work that new pump and,
Filters,
Yeah,
right?
let's see if
Yeah.
it works.
See if it works.
Was
I
it
don't
worth
know,
it?
just, if we're gonna empty the pool,
well, I know, but I haven't taught my dog lifeguarding class yet, so it's a little, you know how hard it is to get the dogs to hold the rescue tube as it is?
you know
How about
how
the
hard it is to
whistle?
get a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation?
Yeah, they can't blow the whistle.
I don't know, I was just thinking about it. I was on the internet today, and a dog named Nala in Tennessee walks herself, escapes the house, back area of Tennessee, goes wherever she goes, broke into a house. Homeowners don't know how she got into the house. They have 2 dogs inside the house. Neither of the 2 dogs woke up. Dog went and helped herself to go to bed with both people.
I saw the headlines, but I wasn't interested in
Yeah.
reading it.
They woke up and saw this strange dog in bed with them and they go, where did this dog come from? Anyway, she has a habit of going swimming in other people's pools and also has a habit of breaking into homes and sleeping with people.
My dogs used to do that when I lived in Carmichael, and we had one fence that wasn't there to the neighbor's fence, it wasn't down. And so I remember letting the dogs out, and, oh, I forgot about them. The lab comes running back soaking wet, just like happy as can be. I'm like, oh,
Whoops.
It's a lab.
yep, he was
All
swimming.
right,
Okay, anyway.
Sharon, anything?
Ditto, the staff just doing a great job, the spring and all the programs and stuff going on. It's like, I'm sure you feel like you're overwhelmed, but you're just doing a great job at all of it. So, gosh, just is an awesome job. We were saying before, and can't say it enough, you guys just pull it off. Thanks for all your hard work.
Alyssa?
Erika,
Arika.
you'll get it.
I'll get it one of these days. All right.
I'll keep correcting them for you.
Arika. Arika. All right.
I feel such an easy transition because of primarily, I guess, the work that you guys all do, so thank you.
Welcome.
You can either get a hard copy, which I like because I can make notes and scribble and stuff, or we've got computers. And you never got Erica's back?
She said she'll get it to me within the next 2 weeks.
All right, okay. So you can, whatever way works for you, and I guess you're meeting with Barry on Tuesday, and like I said, I'm offering any of the board members that are on, if you want.
Yeah, you have to update the cards. We get little laminated cards of everybody's phone numbers.
Yep.
We just
Oh, yeah, yeah.
updated.
That's right, we did. That's, yeah.
Problem.
Well, but that's,
Never fails.
we got it here, so let's just not,
And the banner for up front, I pulled that, and we're going to have that updated as well.
okay, so there's a,
Did you call
And I'm going to name
You put me as
Director
secretary?
Brunberg as secretary.
all right,
Did you call him on that one?
Because you have me as vice chair there.
Did you call him?
well, whatever, this.
That's supposed to
Let
be
me know. I
Lisa.
already have stuff.
All right, so I'm last, and the parks look pretty good. Everyone I go to looks really nice. I mean, I haven't been to all of them. I gotta force myself over to Almond and look at it, but and then I will not be at the next board meeting. So I'm,
The,
The Wednesday one, or the one
no,
following?
the
June
June,
10th.
June 9th, I think it
June
is.
9th.
9th, yeah. I'll be going to Spain, so someone's gotta do it.
Nice.
Somebody's going to do it.
Somebody's gotta
I'll do
go.
it for you.
So now Lisa's vice chair though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So we do it and have to have at least 3 people at that meeting. Because it is one where we're gonna vote on,
That's gonna be the public, oh, she's gotta do the public hearing part.
right.
That's easy.
Well, no, it's just, whatever, it's.
You gotta close it to public,
But
open
I'm
it to public.
Mentioning it now so that we'll have at least 3 board members there.
Yeah.
Yep, I should be there.
And we have the preliminary budget as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Well, yeah, that'll be preliminary.
preliminary.
And the final budget is in August?
August.
Third week, that's the only time we have a meeting
On the third
that's
Thursday.
not on the second Thursday, it's on the third Thursday, and that's because
Period
the
13?
county
Period
compass,
13,
they
yeah.
don't give us the numbers until around the 15th, and so we can't have a budget, the final budget
Final
meeting
budget.
until we get the numbers in. So we've always done that, always done that one on the third Thursday of August.
Correct.
So, but it'll all come,
All right, I move we adjourn.
and I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, we've got items for next time, but we'll just,
Oh.
Yes, we already talked about this.
they're on there.
Yeah.
All right, good meeting, a little long, but that's all right. I always try, my goal is an hour.